having spoken in the previous lecture about anxiety, this lecture is going to look at something that should really help to manage and reduce that anxiety, and that's getting guidance in your speaking practice. So how and where you can find help with your IELTS speaking to unlock your full potential. It should be said, first of all, that practicing alone is better than not practicing at all. So if you're practicing alone, that's great. But the benefits of getting guidance are important to mention. We need to look at why you need guidance instead of just practicing alone. Error correction, first of all. If you're making errors and you're practicing alone, you may not be aware of them. Fluency practice. It's very difficult to have a conversation with yourself, and as a result, it's very difficult to build up that fluency. Pronunciation help. Again, if you're making mistakes in your pronunciation, it's going to be very difficult for you to know unless somebody is pointing those mistakes out for you and showing you how to pronounce correctly. Consistency. Maybe when you're practicing alone, you have some good days, you have some bad days, sometimes you leave it for a long time. When you get guidance, you'll have another person there to push you consistently and to make sure that you're always attending your own practice. Similar to that is encouragement. Not only will another person make sure you are consistently practicing, but they will encourage you in the process. Maybe you have a day where you're not feeling so motivated, and so the person who's guiding you will push you and say, you can do this, and really give you the strength to keep going. New vocabulary, of course, very important for lexical resource. When you get guidance for someone, they will be able to teach you new words and expressions and idioms. And generally, I think it's a lot more fun, particularly in terms of speaking practice. Practicing alone can be very dull, and that can chip away at your motivation. But if you're practicing with somebody else, you might enjoy the process more, and you're more likely to continue your preparation and your practice, and that will only help your speaking. So, what are our options when it comes to guidance? Well, there are a number of options for those who wish to get guidance in their speaking preparation, and here are just a few. There are language exchange sites. You can just enter this into Google and there'll be plenty of options that come up on the first page. There are language exchange apps. Now, I don't know of particular names of these apps, but I've been told by students that they use apps to get language exchange sessions, and both of these sites and these apps, they work on the basis of somebody wants to learn the language that you speak and you want to learn the language that they speak. So you spend half an hour speaking in their language, and then you spend half an hour speaking in your own language. So it's like a mutual beneficial hour. Study buddies are very good. You can find them locally. If you put up adverts in your local shop or library, you can usually find them, or you can find them online as well if you search in the right places. Native speakers, of course, if you have a native speaker in your area, that's excellent. You don't have to have a native speaker to study with someone. You can study with those who are not native speakers, absolutely. But native speakers, of course, are quite useful, particularly when it comes to things like pronunciation, which can be very, very difficult to master. And then you have professionals, professional IELTS tutors. And certainly if you're very serious about your preparation and you want to make sure you have the best preparation you could possibly have, professional IELTS tutors are definitely the way to go. That's my firm belief, at least. This is the best kind of preparation you can possibly have if that's what you want. There are a number of IELTS teachers online, so you've got plenty of options. There are sites like italki.com, cafetalk.com, verbling.com, and plenty more. However, these sites, they offer general English lessons, business English lessons, exam English lessons, aviation English, medical English. They offer a lot of different things. There are not many sites which only offer IELTS-based English lessons. But there is one site, and that is theieltsteacher.com, which is my site. Everything that you have learnt about in this course has come from my experience of exclusively teaching IELTS over the last few years. I have dedicated my attention to this form of teaching. And the IELTSteacher.com now has a number of hugely experienced, highly qualified and super friendly teachers who have been selected on the basis of their deep, thorough understanding of IELTS and their unrivaled knowledge about what it takes to succeed in the exam. It's important to say here that we do not do big business contracts with huge multinational companies, nothing like that. We're very much a one-on-one, personal, friendly online language school who focus exclusively on teaching people like you who really just want to move up to the next band score and achieve their desired goals in IELTS. Now, these teachers, myself included, pride themselves on their fun, engaging and interactive speaking lessons, writing lessons, reading lessons and listening lessons too, but we're in a speaking course here. These speaking lessons will analyze your weaknesses in speaking. So we'll analyze those weaknesses, we will then target these areas and we will turn those weaknesses into strengths, and we'll have a good time doing it as well, really boosting your confidence along the way. Please get in touch for a free 20-minute demo lesson at theieltsteacher.com. As I said, we've got a number of teachers there, and any of them will be happy to hear from you. If you do have any more questions related to our lessons, please get in touch. Remember, you can always send me an email at matt@theieltsteacher.com as well. Hopefully we might be receiving an email from you soon, but even if not, as always, keep up with the practice, and I hope you enjoy these final 2 lectures coming up.